Welcome to the Money Manifestation Mastery Podcast with your host, Lara Waldman, where we talk all things money. Big money, big purpose, big power. Waking up your wealth for heart-centered business owners and entrepreneurs. In today's episode, we are going to rest into riches. Uncover and discover how rest is the secret sauce ingredient to money manifestation mastery. It's completely counterintuitive, but I'm going to share with you the power of rest when it comes to creating, manifesting, and experiencing your wealthy life. Let's dive in. So I'm currently just wrapping up my work, my life, my house, as I get ready to go on holiday. We're taking a few weeks off to go to Italy, to go to a beautiful part of the country, and having a few weeks holiday with my husband, my 2 children, and some really good friends of ours. Many years ago, I got clear guidance to take time off in August, and it happened to coincide with the girls' school holidays, so that made sense. But I continue to be guided to take time off at particular points throughout the year. So I map out my year ahead in my business, making sure there is space for rest, making sure there's time for a holiday, time for a break. Now, there was a time where when I was at home full-time with my kids, I was always off during the school holidays. I actually found it really tiring. Sometimes it was great and sometimes it was really hard. And I longed for childcare so I could actually work. That was what felt luxurious to me. But as my kids have gotten older and they don't need the same level of care, I now have nothing holding me back. So I have to make sure that I'm consciously choosing times for break and rest in my business. The first thing to share is that resting into riches, this principle, this idea, is counterintuitive. And it's going to require you to make some space to experience the value, experience the power of this process. Now, my mind tells me all sorts of things. I don't know about yours, but mine is definitely telling me there is a whole long list of things to do. There is not enough time, not enough energy. How are we going to get everything done? There's too much to do to stop. There's too much to do to rest. And this is what I see. People will tell me, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. These are the 3 common objections. And what I know immediately when someone is telling me that they don't have enough time, that there is something much deeper going on that needs exploring. And yet when you're in that mode of not enough time, too much to do, it can be an incredibly stressful place. The to-do list is just getting longer. There's endless chores to do, endless things pulling your attention in a million directions. There genuinely isn't enough time. And because there isn't enough time, we tend to not do some of the non-essential things, like resting, like self-care, like taking time out for yourself. But what I want to share with you is the value of rest in terms of wealth creation and the value of rest when it comes to growing your business. It's not going to be obvious and it's not going to make logical sense, so please bear with me. So when you're in the not enough time experience, so busy, so much to do, which anyone who is running a business will be experiencing, anyone who's living a busy life will be experiencing, there is a cost to that. You may be superhumaning, doing all the things, which is incredible, but I found, generally speaking, it's not sustainable. I have learned this the hard way. I've experienced burnout many times throughout my life if I push too hard or go too fast or override myself when my ego goes off on one. and I'm missing parts of myself, my body teaches me this the hard way. Now, some people seem to be able to get away with being very, very busy and doing constantly without a break, which is incredible. I am not one of those people. So I have, through a lot of failure and setback, uncovered and discovered these really cool tools, practices, and principles the hard way, from being forced to stop, essentially. So some of the downsides about being so busy, hustling, grinding, going, never enough time, it's not just that it's not sustainable and risks leading to burnout and sucking all the joy out of everything you're doing and making everything feel really hard all of the time. The other issue is there isn't much capacity for growth because you're just in survival. You're just in hustle. You're spinning your wheels. You're going without any space or time for reflection. You're in a hamster wheel of unconsciousness, just one moment at a time, one day at a time. And there isn't any room for reflection. There isn't any room to process. And what tends to happen is a buildup over time of unprocessed, undigested issues, such as emotions, problems in your life, in your business, in your finances. And what I found when people are in the I'm too busy paradigm, if you start scratching the surface a little bit beneath that, I find that there is a feeling that they don't want to feel. There's a problem that they don't want to face. And this is very, very normal. We go into a survival mechanism. There tends to be poor time management or poor boundaries, underestimating how much time things will take you, or not being able to say no and taking on way too much, only to learn that the hard way. But as you go deeper underneath the patterns and underneath the programs that keep you in the I'm too busy paradigm, you find a deeper issue going on. And that is the driver, the avoidance of pain, the avoidance of the feeling, not wanting to slow down to face a deeper issue. So even though you may be begging for more time and longing for rest, what we'll find is there is almost an addictive cycle of behavior, a habit, that survival brain kicking off that keeps you going in that hamster wheel, unable to get off. You're in a loop, you're in a cycle of behavior, and it's really, really hard to get off that ride. So what I've learned to do is to pay attention to signs and symptoms before it gets too far. Because I've learned the hard way that if I go too far on that energy, too far on that slipstream, that there will be a long-term cost or consequence for me. And even though everything in my nervous system is saying, we don't have enough time, we got to keep going, there's this huge long to-do list to still get through, I've learned that I have to take time and space. Like I said, I've learned this the hard way over a lot of failure over many years. And my intention is to save you some unnecessary pain and time and to put some of this to the test. So let's talk about the value of rest. Rest and relaxation is a time of reflection. It's a time to review. It's a time to reflect on what's been happening. It's a time to digest, to process your life. Resting into riches means that you begin to relax. Relax is my step one to money manifestation mastery. When everything is telling you to go, survival mode, on, hustle, grind, don't stop, keep going. The biohack of that survival pattern is to stop, to relax. Because when you relax and when you make space for rest, this allows you to begin to release, which is my step 2 to money manifestation mastery. to let go. That's saying, let go, let God, or soulful surrender. Now, we don't like this space, generally speaking, because your survival pattern may interpret this space as dangerous. Because as you relax into riches, as you rest into riches, you begin the process of releasing and letting go. And your ego will interpret this as death, danger, destruction. Do not stop. Alert. Be on high alert all of the time. So it's really important to create space to support yourself, to rest, to relax, and release. And when you're releasing, that process can be uncomfortable because you're going to be feeling feelings perhaps that your busyness didn't allow you to feel. You may be sitting with thoughts that you've been avoiding thinking. And on a soul level, when we go even deeper, this is a point of reflection, an opportunity to soulfully surrender means dying an ego death, letting go of that which is no longer aligned with who you are and where you're going. So every August, I'm guided to stop, to let go, to stop doing in my business, and to go into a deep space of being, a deep space of reflection. And part of me, even though I teach this stuff and know it inside out and upside down, struggles with that idea. So I've been given clear instructions that over the holiday I'm going to spend time journaling, moving my body, meditating, reflecting, listening to my heart, listening to my soul, listening to my inner guidance. It's a practice that I do every day. It's part of the Money Manifestation Mastery practice. But there is a luxurious space that's coming up for me that can allow me to deepen into this without any business action, without any doing. And every August, I go through a process that feels like coming up to a crossroads. And I know that I'm being asked to let go of an old version of myself, to let go of an old way of doing things, to let go of old ideas, patterns, programs, beliefs, old stories, hardwired patterns and programs, and create space to welcome in the new. When you create space, you're in a void space that can feel like nothingness. Nothing's happening. It's stillness. And yet all of creation happens in the void space, in the darkness, in the womb, in the underground, when it looks like there is nothing there or nothing's happening. And yet from that space, new life can grow. So what I found is even though there can be an uncomfortable space of letting go, of stopping, of undoing, which is very luxurious and wonderful to relax into, there is space being created for new life, for new growth, for new ideas, for new innovative thought, for new innovative ideas, new ways of thinking, new ways of perceiving. But in order to make space for that new, I need to let go and create that space. And that new life, those new ideas, those new points of views, perceptions of reality may not reveal themselves to me for some time. Just like if you plant a seed in the depths of the darkness, it may take time to see those new shoots, the new life above the surface. And the same thing goes with rest. As you rest into riches, it may look like nothing is happening. There is no value in rest. It doesn't do anything. You've got this huge pile of to-do lists and all this stuff to do. So what is the point? There is no time for this rest. And yet what I found is taking that time to rest, to reflect, to release, gives you perspective, a new point of view, and allows you to discern and to decipher what's important, what's working, what's not working. And perhaps what support do you need? What else do you need in place? Because perhaps some of the things you're doing are not sustainable. But for me, when I rest deeply is when I connect deeply. I connect deeply to myself, to my body, to my heart, to my soul, to my intuition, my inner guidance system, my wealth frequency, my connection to nature, to the planet, and what's really, really important. And my practice is coming home to that place, that next level of heart, body, soul aligned wealth creation, where the flow is, where that alignment is. And that is always changing, refining. There is always an invitation for growth and transformation. And what I found is creating conscious space for rest allows me to deepen into new levels of wealth. But in that deepening in, there is a letting go. There is a releasing. And my ego tells me death, danger, destruction. It catastrophizes. That part of me says, don't stop, don't let go. We don't know what's on the other side. That fear of the unknown, fear of the void. And this is something that I'm working with consciously all of the time. My mind, my brain, my survival brain tells me one story. And yet when I rest, when I take space and go within, and my soul can speak to me, my heart can speak to me, that source, divine consciousness can speak to me and tell me where we're going, what needs to happen next. And I found that when I really let go, that there's this new wave, this new level, this new adventure ready and waiting. But it's on the other side of my comfort zone. It's in the unknown. But my soul, my heart, my body's wisdom is guiding me into that new space and place. But if I don't take space to rest, to allow myself to let go, get out of the way, soulfully surrender, then I'll just continue in the old habits, the old ways of doing things. And this is what keeps us stuck in cycles. If you are stuck in a cycle of survival or stuck in a cycle of the same loop over and over and over again, it tells me something here. There's an old habit of behavior, an old way of doing things. And the only way to break those cycles, to break those habits, is to do things differently. And taking space for rest, for reflection, changing up your routine is one of the most powerful ways to do that. So, taking space to rest into riches, to relax into riches, can be a daily practice, creating space every day for rest, for deep rest, to reflect, to digest, to release, to let go, to refuel, to resource yourself, to find clarity through connection. But also you can take longer breaks, holiday, space away from your normal day-to-day that allows for a deeper, richer process to happen. So if you find yourself exhausted, struggling, in a continual cycle or loop of the same problem, the same challenge over and over again, or if you find yourself not growing, you're not able to grow your business or grow your finances, or you find yourself on a slow decline, maybe what was working for you at one point is no longer working for you, there is gold underneath that problem. There is gold underneath that pain and underneath that challenge. And one of the ways to find that gold is to rest, relax into riches so you can connect to that gold. But it means you have to stop, relax, so you can release, so you can let go, get out of the way, and open up to a whole new possibility that's ready and waiting for you. Thank you for joining me for today's conversation, Rest into Riches. I hope you feel all inspired to take some space for yourself. This is a very important step to money manifestation mastery. Remember, it's counterintuitive. Remember that every part in you might fight this, but I'd love you to put it to the test. What happens when you make space for rest? Remember, the results of that rest is not going to show itself necessarily immediately. Over time, it will start to feed back. And on a very practical level, it's essential that you rest so you don't burn out, so you can continue what you're doing in a sustainable way. I want you to have sustainable, soulful success. And part of that is making space so that you can reflect on what's working, what's not working, building systems and structures of support that allow you to grow and thrive in a way that's aligned with your heart, body, and soul. If you would like a safe space to rest into riches, I'd love to invite you to my upcoming wealth retreat. This is a very special 5-day event online where we'll be putting aside 1 hour a day to deeply drop in to this beautiful work. I'll be sharing my powerful steps to money manifestation mastery and taking you through a lived experience of the power of this work. Many people who come through my retreats tell me they make the most money ever during these free live events, and I'd love you to come and explore it for yourself. This is for you if you're a big-hearted business owner here to make waves in this world, wanting to receive and give in equal measures, creating a powerful impact to the lives of others, while also experiencing an extraordinary life for yourself. If you want to find out more about that event, visit my website, larawaldman.com. Book your free place at the upcoming Wealth Retreat, and I look forward to diving even deeper with you very soon.